Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Beauty by Jennifer Halliburton. Today we are going to learn how to do this beautiful sunset eye look. Oh my goodness, wait until you see, all of this. It might scare you at first, but I think that you'll love it by the time it's done. All right, see ya.
Individual with your own style and flair. And it is precious the way you talk, the way you love, the way you want, the way that you share. 'Cause you are more than one in a million. There's no one like you anywhere.
Hi. Okay, so today I am going to do the sunset look, eye look with palette 5. Show it to you. Aw, so beautiful. See, I did this whole video on Facebook Live yesterday, and something happened and it is just gone. And so I was kind of sad for a little bit, but I'm okay now. So we're gonna do this. It is not live, it is just regular. I'm doing my regular video, and hopefully it will work this time, okay? Because I really want you guys to be able to see how to do this look. I think that it's beautiful. I think that when people see this palette, it intimidates them. I know it intimidated me when I saw it. I thought, oh, there's no way that I would ever wear colors like that. That is just, way far out there. But actually, I really love it. They don't go on quite as dark. You can get them to go on brighter if you have your brush wet. But with just a normal brush, they're not going to come on, looking super dark and bright and just, so colorful. So they also have this iridescence to them that I think is just gorgeous. So, I mean, like when you take your eyes like this, the color just shifts and changes, and I mean they all just sort of blend together, and it is just beautiful. So let's get started. One of the things that I want to show you is that I will have a variety of brushes that I will be using. Okay, don't let this be intimidating. But these are the brushes that I typically use. This one is just, it's angled, and it's for putting on eyeshadow, and it kind of diffuses it some. So it's not, quite as, like if you don't want it to be so bright, you could use this. This one is when you want things extra precise, right in, the place that you want them to be. This one is called a crease brush. This one is just a regular eyeshadow brush, and it's kind of rounded at the top. And then this one is just one that I use to blend at the end. So this one never has actual color on it. This is just to help, blend all of the other colors together. So, with that said, we're going to get started. Okay, so looking at this beautiful palette, I'm going to start, I'm going to go a little bit darker today than what I did yesterday. I'm going to be a little bit braver. So I'm going to start with this color right here, this copper color, and it's called Suspicious. Okay, and this color, I'm going to use just a regular rounded top eyeshadow brush. This color kind of like a copper. Okay. So I'm going to bring it just on the inner part of my eye here, okay, of my lid. And when I'm doing my lid, I am pushing up against that bone right there. And I'm going to cover everything down to the lashes. So I'm going just to the center with this. And I'm doing more of a tapping motion. And, you know, I am bringing it right over here into that edge over there. Okay, so now then I'm going to go do the other side. So again, just sort of tapping it in there. And going to the center with it. Okay. I mean, and this color is really pretty. I mean, it's just, already you can see the beautiful color it brings to it. Okay. So I'm wiping off my brush. I wipe my brushes after every use on just a little makeup wipe. Alright, so now then, I am going to come in with this red color right here called Sarcastic. That's going to be, I'm going to put that on the other side of my lid. Okay. We're getting really colorful today. Okay, so now that I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to bring it into the center, and I'm going to blend those two colors there at the middle. Okay. And this color is just a little bit darker than the first color that I put on. It has, like I said, just a little bit more red to it. We're just going from the corner, kind of patting it in. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to use the crease brush. Okay, with this, I'm going to go to this center color right here. It's called Vintage, and it's kind of orangish, but I mean, it's really pretty. I'm going to bring it really close so you can see it. And this is going to be, what is the crease? Okay. All right. So when I'm doing this one, when I'm doing the crease, I come right here and I touch this bone right here, and then I just kind of drag it straight out. Okay, and I do what I call a 7. I bring it all the way out to the length of where my brow goes, and then I bring it down. And when I bring it down, I try to sweep it in into the lash line there. And then I'll bring a little bit over here. I don't want the color to be too much over on the inside here, but I do bring just a little bit of it. And so I'm going to bring that straight out, and then down, and I fill in just a little bit right here so that these two colors will blend. I'm going to try to sweep it into that. Okay. And same thing over here. Start right at that bone, right in the center, straight out. To just about where you meet your brow there. And then bring it down and sweep it in into the lash line. And then you can pull some right here. Down, in. Okay. So it's looking really bright, and I'm sure you're thinking, oh my goodness, I would never wear anything that bright ever. And I wouldn't either. So, all right, but we're gonna blend at the end, and it's gonna make a big, big, big difference, I promise. All right, so I'm going to take that same color, that same vintage color that I just used, and now I'm going to put a little bit right under my lashes here, my lower lashes. Okay? Now, I'm going to come back at the end, and I'm going to clean up with some concealer and to bring a little bit highlight underneath my eyes. So if you feel like this, is too much, you can clean it up. Then it won't be, look like you have a black eye or, whatever. But this just brings a little bit of that color, all the way down, and it just gives it a really neat effect once it's all done. All right. Okay. So I have one more. No, actually I have two more colors I'm going to do. Okay. The next color I'm going to do is this really dark purple. It's called Fearless. And I'm going to take that, and I'm using the crease brush again. I just wiped it off. And I'm going to do what's called a little baby 7, just right here in the corner of my eye. Okay, and I fill it in just a little to help the colors blend. Okay, just a little baby 7. And this is just your inner crease, is what they call this. And it just gives this extra little pop of color, a little darker, little purple into your sunset. So it's really pretty. All right, so now I've got one more. I'm going to take this color right here. It's called Vindictive. It's the yellow color. And I'm just going to lightly brush it above all of those other colors, just along the brow line. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to pull it right into here on both sides. to the inner corner there. Okay. So now it's time to blend. Okay. So I get my little blending brush. This is clean. Like I said, there's no color on it. And I'm going to start with the lighter area. And I'm just going to very lightly make circles and try to blend those harsh lines into each other. So this may take, you know, a little bit, but this just helps make it look like it's just all one color going on, because you can't tell where one begins and one ends. Okay, so you see that? Okay, let me get to this other side. Just going to do the same thing, and it's just very lightly just blending those colors together. Okay, come in closer, close my eyes. All right, so now then I'm going to show you something you may or may not have ever seen, but I'm going to show you how multifunctional these palettes really are. So I'm going to use this brush right here. It's called a liner brush, so you can use it for your brows, which is how I typically use it, and I did use it that way today. Or you could use it for eyeliner. And so any color of shadow you have, you can turn that into an eyeliner color. So I'm going to take this purple color, and that's going to be my eyeliner color. And I'm going to use this to do it, okay? So I'm just going to dab this. I'm actually going to get it wet for, I'm going to dab this just right in that color, okay? And then here, I'm going to just very carefully, I'm going to start kind of dotting it, slightly dragging the brush just right up against that lash line. Okay, and having this purple color as the liner, I mean, it just goes so perfect with the rest of our colors here. Okay. So I like to just darken it up the most at the outer corner here. And so that's really all I'm doing right there. It's just darkening that up. trying to make it stand out. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the bottom, and I'm just gonna be very light, just right against those lashes. Again, darker right here in the corner, and lighter along this side. Okay, so that just gives a very pretty little accent to the colors we were already using. Okay. So again, right on top of that lash line. And that's what I love about a lot of the products. They are multifunctional. You can find, you know, many uses. I'm going to clean that up, so don't worry about that. You can find many uses, and you can make it work, you know. If you can't afford to get everything that you want right away, you can use other things. Improvise until you get what you want. Okay. That's going to need a lot of cleanup. Ugh. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do the cleanup before I do my lashes because that's really bothering me. Alright, so when I do the cleanup, I use my concealer, and typically you would want to go a shade or two lighter than what your foundation color is. And look, I just used that much, put it on the back of my hand. But I use the lightest color foundation, so I just have to use, you know, the same color. Alright, so with this, for the cleanup, we're going to take the concealer and just kind of dot it in a V shape up under my eye. And I like to come all the way down to this bone right here and all the way back, okay? And like I said, this is just going to help just brighten up what we've been doing and clean up at the same time. Okay, so I use this brush right here, which is typically considered a foundation brush, but I use it as a concealer brush for this part. And I just take it and I very lightly dab, and I come right as close to that lash line as possible, and I am dragging down and out, and you know, kind of patting and dragging it down and out to give it just a very clean look underneath my eye. And so if you got a little too far out right here, you could clean that up too if you needed to. You just kind of dab it to help blend it in. Down on here. Okay, now we go to the other side. Same thing. Down and out. and just right up against that. And okay. I think I got it. To finish it off, I use the Behold setting powder, and let's put it right here to help keep it in place, and I'll put just a little bit over my eyes just to keep that in place. Okay, and then the last thing that I do is the mascara. Okay, so let me get that out. And our mascara is 2 parts. The larger one is the gel, the smaller one is the fibers, and you always go gel, fibers, gel. Okay, the gel is kind of like regular mascara, and it is intended to help give the fiber something to hold on to. All right, so now what I do first is I put a thin coat of the gel on both sides before I officially get started. Okay, now then I'm going to go back to this eye and I'm going to add another coat of gel. I'm going to be really generous on it, trying to make sure that those fibers have plenty to grab hold to. Okay, I work one eye at a time at this point. So now that I'm going to put the fibers on, and the fibers, they're kind of furry looking. You come about halfway up, halfway in, and then you drag it up. And the fibers are meant to thicken and lengthen your lashes. This is what gives them the fullness. Okay, so now that I'm going to let that one sit, I'm going to come over here. And I'm adding the gel over here. Okay, now we're going to the fibers. Halfway in, and then drag it up. Okay, coming back to this side, and I do 2 layers, 2 coats of the gel and fibers, just because my lashes are really puny and I want them to look extra, extra long. So I'm adding another layer of the gel. This seals in that last set of the fibers that I've already applied. Okay. So I'm going to add some more fibers to that one. Okay, I'm going to come close. Isn't that insane? That is amazing. I love this stuff. Okay, going over to the other side. Adding more gel. Okay. And some fibers. And I seal it all at the end with gel so that those fibers don't go anywhere. Okay, and you want to seal them really good. Like I said, you don't want them to move. And when I'm doing this part, I try to push up just a little bit. Okay, so that I'll get even more lift. Okay. Finish this side. Okay, so my phone is telling me we are done, so it cut me off. I just wanted you to see the finished look with the lashes, and I'm gonna close and turn. And isn't it gorgeous? I hope you'll try it and you'll let me know what you think. All right, bye.